Hello, hello, hello. It's 8:30. Well, we usually start at 8:30, but today we started at 8:37. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda, and we do apologise for running a little bit late. I'm going to explain that in a sec, but first of all, I want to say hi to Paddy. Welcome back, man. How you doing?
You're doing very well, thank you. All good, fantastic, feeling good, feeling great.
So we had a good result this week, didn't we? Played really good football against Brentford, but yesterday as well. What do you think of the game? The semi-final, very epic, wasn't it?
A fantastic match, and I did have Man City to win that, and I thought it was a foregone conclusion they'd play Liverpool in the final. I really did. I bet on it. Bet3 got a free bet on it. I thought, yeah, no problem. 70th minute, they score. Man City are through, great, and then suddenly the shock happens, and it was a bit like 1999 with Barcelona. I felt it all over again. And you know what? Oh dear, how sad. Never mind. So
it's funny, that isn't it? I mean, in '99, the players were deflated. I remember two Kufors, banging on the floor. How could we throw this away? The looks on their faces. Mateus came strolling off like, yeah. Oh yeah, well done, guys. Work's being done here. And yeah, but I felt sorry for Man City players yesterday. They must have been deflated.
But yeah, well, do you know what? As a very biased Manchester United fan for so long, I was loving it. I was sending the messages out today, and you're right. It was like '99 where you got Mateus in the subs thing going. I remember his face going. So you get, and Guardiola, bless him, he took it on the chin. But unfortunately, no Champions League final. And yet again, I'm so sad, but I'm happy. I'm sorry.
Something? What surprised me was the 6 minutes of added time. Yeah. And today we've given Mr. B about 8 minutes of added time. He still hasn't arrived. I don't know where he is. So, guys, if you wonder why we're late, Mr. B, he's having technical difficulties, and we've given him added time. He's still not turned up. So we might have to send him off. Give him a yellow card or something. But first of all, TalkMU, how you doing, man? Big up. Matthew Bassett as well. How you doing?
Hello, Matt.
They're talking about the game, the Europa League. We don't want to watch Europa League. We want to watch this show. If you don't mind, please, guys. Thanks for tuning in. There's a man down for West Ham, apparently. Big up to Solo. How you doing? Yes, TalkMU, you need to speak to your colleague for Friday nights about why we're late. He's let us down, Mr. B, and we gave him extra time. We gave him Fergie time, and he still didn't turn up, but he's on his way. Oh, hold on a minute. If you heard the beep, what's that? So we gave him added time, 10 minutes added time.
Mr. B, my God.
It's chaos. I'm sorry, man. Listen. I don't.
How was your day, Mr. B? Apart from rolling in late,
bro. Listen, it's not late. I've been here. Technically, I would have been 1 minute late, but for whatever reason, boy, this contraption here today wasn't doing anything that I wanted it to do, man. So apologies on Monday. First things first, Paddy. Secondly, apologies, guys in the chat. I apologize. It's my fault. I'm not sure what excuse on Monday did if he used me as an excuse. If he didn't, thank you very much. But apologies, man.
You're going to have to rewatch the show and find out what I think about you.
Sorry,
because
man.
Your ears must be burning. Anyway, hope everyone's well and settled. Are you guys ready? If you're in the comments, please press the like button. We've got 7 in the house at the moment. Make sure you press the like button. We've got some topics today, I tell you. We've just done our intro. The intro was all about Mr. B and added time. And now we're going to go on to the main meal, which is all about Quinton Fortune. He's made some comments today. And I want you guys to soak this up in the comments. I'm just about to read you what Quinton Fortune has said. Before I do, I just want to say hi to Melina and Cosman and Saragon as well. Pat Lawless is in the house as well. And all you guys, we'll get back to you in a second. But Quinton Fortune, good servant of the club in Fergie era. But another Fergie player coming back to have his say on current proceedings at the club. So he spoke to Athletic, they're a credible source today, and he said current players don't look happy. He said Quinton Fortune, like Paddy, you know, because I would compare Quinton Fortune to Paddy because he's an old guard criticising the new breed. And he said the players can't quite. Sorry, Paddy, it's true though. Can't quite adjust to how far the club has fallen in recent years. So Quinton Fortune's really stressed out because he can't adjust to how bad we're playing at the moment. He says since 2013, a string of managers coming in have been struggling to get the team back to where they used to be, which is winning major trophies. He says if there's one thing Man United should never lack, it is that the work ethic and the fight until the end. So we know about extra time, Fergie time, don't we, Mr. B? We gave you Fergie time today, but and you fought to the end, and you got here eventually. So that's the spirit we're looking for from the players, and that's what Quinton Fortune is trying to say. He's talking about the work ethic. He said he's trying to imply that it's missing. With all the talent United have, if they do not work together, it is not. Has no purpose. You can put Messi in the team as well, but you need to work together. He said, hopefully, now with Eric coming in, he needs to find a way for them to work together, to find happy players and get relationships going again. He said, it's about understanding people who fit Manchester United and the team. It can't just be about big names who everyone wants to, and we pay crazy money. He needs to fit the culture and the values of the team and the club. These are players coming in. He said, I'm sorry to keep going on about the past. That sounds like Paddy. But that is the blueprint when you look at the talent. Humility, character of the players that we signed. So this is what Quinton Fortune's come in and said. You've all read the comments about it. So first of all, I'm going to go to you, Mr. B, because you've just arrived. And you want to dive straight in, don't you? So current players don't look happy, he says. Why do you think the current player, according to him, his assessment, why do you think the current players don't look happy? Is it because they care about their form? Do you think they're upset because they see their team are performing badly? Or are there other reasons why the current players, in Quinton Fortune's mind, don't look happy? What do you think about that?
I would like to think that it was because the players have pride in the fact that the whole club's been so shit. You can't say individually, because I would like to think that 85% of those players are putting in the maximum effort that they can. Obviously, we have seen times when players haven't been happy. That's down to winning. On Monday, you're a sportsman. Paddy, I'm not sure how much sport you actually do, but competitively, you're always happier when you're winning. I think that the crux of it is that the results haven't been great, haven't been good enough. I won't even use great, haven't been good enough for a lot of the season. And then the games that they do win, like the last game they won there, the 3-0, it makes you wonder why they hadn't done things like that before. So then we now are looking at them and asking a whole different set. I really think that it's a form thing. Yes, we have players who don't get on with each other. I have people at my workplace who I don't get on with. But at the end of the day, you've got to do things to make things work for the better good. And I do believe that there's a lot of selfish players, individual players who have their own agendas, should I say. And I think that's got in the way of a lot of things. And I don't think a lot of them are humble enough to appreciate the position that they actually find themselves in. They've been young footballers with a talent for a long time. We, on the other hand, are looking at it and thinking they're in this position where they want to, but at the end of the day, it's still a job, regardless of whether it's selling pizzas, something that you used to, you're doing it for 5 years, you've started as an apprentice and you're now a manager. It's still a job. So everything's relevant in regards to what they need. So yeah, they probably aren't unhappy. They probably are unhappy at the club. We would be looking at it as what a great position to be in. And they're probably thinking, well, I can earn the same 100 grand somewhere else and be happy. It's a hard one. it's a hard one on Monday, but selfish. I'm going to put a lot of it down to selfish. Paddy, my unselfish partner in crime.
I think you make some good points there, Mr. B, about the way the team has been. It has been a bad year, hasn't it, for the team and how they've been playing. There's been a lot of unhappiness within the team, with changeover managers, with Ole and stuff like that. And you're right. And if you go back to your own day job, I know it's like the worst thing you can have is have a job that you hate. But these players are playing for Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. You should be in heaven playing for this football club. You talk about selfishness. Do you know what came to mind straight away was Bruno Fernandes, because his all-round attitude at times this season has been poor, and just he just has. I don't think he's grasped the whole aspect of the whole team ethos that is Manchester United and the fabric and the blueprint. So, you're absolutely spot on, Mr. B. I got to be honest with you. I can't nail it down to where this unhappiness has come from, but you know what? When you play for Man United, you've all got to be happy. You've got to get this swashbuckling happiness together. You've got to. This is what I want to see now. This is my dream, that we play this swashbuckling football. But I don't know what's happened this season. I just don't. We haven't been a player. We've been playing as individuals. We really have. We've just been disjointed all around the pitch in every aspect. And Ronaldo coming in September, it lifted the club. I mean, my God, I can remember. I think it was his first game. The whole of the stadium just stopped singing, and then he scored those goals. I just couldn't believe it. But obviously, the fizz was high then, the Bucks fizz, as I call it, the fizz. But it obviously settled down. So, I don't know what to say about what's happened, but got to get it back. Got to get the happiness back.
Do we all agree that the players are unhappy, though? Because this is what Quinton Fortune is saying. Just from observation, does it look like players are unhappy? I mean, you made a good point about manager change and the form as well. I mean, there's a lot going on at the club. But we've had issue with Greenwood as well. We've had Harry Maguire getting penalties. We've had Paul Pogba being booed. There's a number of factors, isn't there, why the squad's a bit uneasy at the moment.
On Monday, can I just come back into that? I think it's a lack of discipline, complete and utter discipline at this club under these managers. And that's what's the problem's happened. So these players have just been allowed to put their arm around them. If they got sent off, high five. Remember, Ole, bless him. What are you doing? High five, and the player's been sent off. I'm sorry. There's a lack of discipline completely. I'm sorry, and that's what's happened.
So can I? Do you think? Obviously, people will say it's management, which we would probably put above Ole and whoever was above him, and we're going to put it to the top. I actually don't believe that it is the top, because you can have managers and supervisors who you don't get on with, but you can have your own specific unit within that whole structure as a happy place. But whether it's backbiting, whether it's jealousy, we've seen it from the beginning of the season. Paddy, I just want to ask you, you said you thought that Bruno had been selfish this season. Me personally, I think Bruno has been one of the few players who are making their effort, and he's showing his visible frustration because he's doing the best that he can do, and there's players around him who aren't pulling his weight. That's how I was looking at the Bruno situation. So I'm wondering, do you think that it was you see Bruno as being selfish, or do you feel that as in mind that he's been trying too hard and maybe the rest of the team haven't reached the level that he wants to be at?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Bruno has been doing something right because he's been given a new contract, and his numbers haven't been as good as previously before. Ronaldo's coming to the side. Maybe it's taken some weight off him with the goals, contributions, that kind of thing. But I think going forward, he's one of our guys, one of our better players. So he's been maybe deserving of a new contract. I know he gets a lot of criticism, but then I heard people saying today De Bruyne didn't step up yesterday in a big game, and everyone says that about Bruno. He doesn't step up in a big game. I think going next season and the season after, I think we might see a different Bruno who might learn from this experience, because this is a big club. He's never been at a big club before.
Yeah.
And I think he's starting to find his feet and be a bit humble now and start to appreciate he's got a lot of weight in his shoulders. He's got a lot of responsibility. He's a senior player, and he needs to step up. And everyone talks about him. When we talk about Harry Maguire being a captain, the captain's supposed to unite everybody in the change room and keep everyone on board. nights out, team building, that kind of thing. People suggest that should be Bruno. So maybe he's got a lot of responsibility now with that sort of thing. Where he's giving the armband, I'm not sure. But let me go to the next question I want to ask you guys, because so many things, talking points from this. Now, fortunately, comes from a past generation. So are you guys fed up with the former Fergie players criticising club players and things? And does he understand modern football, players and culture? And Paddy, I'm looking eyes at you. My eyes are burning. I feel my lasers. This is directed to you. Because I say this, I know everyone in the comments, Paddy, we love you. But you're old school, and you like old school values and that kind of thing. And even when it comes to sort of football, you think it's a very simple game, very effective. But do you think football is involved, and do you think we need to sort of, could Fergie manage, like, just get an example, Fergie kicked out Pogba because he didn't like some certain attributes he was having with his behavior, characteristics, that kind of thing. So he didn't think he was ready and thing. But maybe Fergie was not adapting to the new culture, because sometimes I look at the way kids are dressing, got trousers hanging down their backside and everything else, trousers really tight, and I think, I look at them and think, wow, what are you doing, and frowning, and then I think I sound like an old fogey, that kind of thing. You have to sort of embrace the new. So this goes to you, Paddy. Do you think he doesn't understand the new culture? And what do you, especially you, we want to know what you think, Paddy.
OMONDI, I'm not such an old fogey, by the way. I am still young at heart, brother. I really am. I am young at heart. I bless you. Seriously, I still feel young. I can be. I'm not an old man yet, but bless you. I know what you're saying, and it's really important, because I like what Quinton said. I read those comments today. And you're right. You make an interesting point about Fergie. Will he be able to survive? But this football club needs discipline. It needs the blueprint. Quinton talks about the blueprint and the culture and the values of Manchester United Football Club. That can't just go now and disappear, can it? It just can't. And these players coming in have got to understand the culture and of this club. Same with Liverpool, who's got a massive history, hasn't it? They've really grasped the Liverpool emblem. I think. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on my book. Yeah, they've got to these players. I know the suit. I remember Fergie used to have all the suit with the shirt and ties at the airport. I'm for that. I am for all these. These are really important values, and they've got to be incorporated. This is a beautiful club and a very old club with values, and they've got to come into this and grasp it. Otherwise, it won't. I just don't think it will work. But I've got but Ten Hag is coming in with his breed of football. I hope he needs to look at our club and look at the past. So I'm with Quinton and all his comments. The culture and values of Manchester United football. He talks about the blueprint. That blueprint seems still important. I know I might be an old fogey and I might get stick about it, but I'm sorry. I've seen this club since 1976, even to now, and I love the modern game. I love the modern players, and I'm still young at heart. And the new players coming in, but you know what? Still, the old values still need to be cherished within the new players coming in. That's my view on it, OMONDI and Mr. B.
Thank you very much, Mr. B. Do you want to add to that? Do you think Fortune is just another Fergie player who's hanging around a club, criticising and saying, "We done it. Look at these guys, and we, look at the way they dress, look at the way their culture is. We would never have that." What do you think about that?
To a certain extent, I do feel he's been a bit of a jump on the bandwagon. Quinton Fortune said nothing all season. There hasn't been a quote from Quinton Fortune all season. Now the season's finished, he's piping up because he's got a game. Is there an old game coming up? So maybe that's where he wanted to get his sound bites in, but generational, everything changes. 10 years, the music that we listened to 10 years ago, if I play to my daughters now, they're asking me what I'm listening to. You have to be able to adapt as a parent, and I think you have to be able to adapt as a manager and as a club. As a club, we've stayed in the dark ages. We've stayed in the same place for 10 years, 15 years, living on past glories and not wanting to move or progress forward, take new ideas in. Nowadays, the kids have got Snapchat. They've got, when I went out, I had Facebook, but they've got Snapchat. There's things that you have to adapt and you have to accept as a person of an older generation. So Quinton Fortune talking about these philosophies. Do you think Alex Ferguson could lick a man in his head with a football boot now and get away with it without this player? And David Beckham was the first of the, you know, the Instagram with all the big followers and all of the brand. He couldn't get away with doing that now. Jesse Lingard gets left out, and his brothers on Instagram acting like the whole world has ended. You know, they've got ways of getting things out there, whereas before everything was kept quiet. So if they were upset, Cole and York, for ages we heard that they didn't get on, but until you heard it, Sheringham and Cole, you heard rumors that they didn't get on, but until it was confirmed, you know, in Coley's book or on an interview that they had, it was all hearsay. Now, if a man doesn't like somebody, with 2 minutes after the game, somebody's tweeted it and everybody's on how he doesn't like him, I think it's a generational thing. I understand Quinton Fortune has got that Fergie winning mentality, but I'm not sure that that's the drive that the younger players have nowadays. I think they're more about other things, should I say.
Go ahead, Paddy. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, can I just come in on that? I think what Guardiola done early in the season, I loved about, I think it was after the Man City game, he dropped Grealish and the other kid, Foden, together. Dropped him. He dropped. I don't know what's gone on with them. They'll play, but he went, do you know what? You dropped. And also going back, and I love that, and that's what I love. But going back to old players and Fortune, I've watched Keane. I've listened to Roy Keane and Gary Neville. Probably we all have on Sky Sports and whatever, and they're punditry in their podcasts. But they you know, the work ethic hasn't been there this year. They just, you know, the work ethic has been non-existent, and they've banged on about this work ethic because they had the work ethic as players in that club. And if you haven't got that work ethic and battling back, look what happened. What happened was in those games we got beat because we didn't match the work ethic of the other teams, and that's down. Man, you know, we've always been grafters. We've always been hard-working players. So that's what he's going on about as well. The work ethic, Quinton Fortune, and the old players. And I can't knock that.
Just to go before we go into the comments, two more sort of questions here, which does lead. You know, you led me on nicely to work ethic. I'm asking you guys. He mentioned work ethic, but I'm saying to you, so Pep and Klopp, I mean, they're the best sides at the moment. They have work ethic in their sides. And so do Leeds, and so do Burnley. You can see that on the eye. So what are the key formulas to success? Is it just work ethic? What will turn us around? Because Pep and Klopp had to have work ethic, but they got extra stuff as well. So it can't just be work ethic. What other formulas factors do you think we need to be a big side again? And finding suitable players. He says about finding suitable players to fit the cultures and values of the club. So do you think these cultures, as we asked before, have these cultures and values of the club changed from what Quinton Fortune knew about, which was probably work ethic and no phones and everything else? This is what I'm saying. So just to round up, before we go into the comments, because there's a lot of people talking in the comments, do you want to just summarize quickly before we move on, guys? Mr. B.
Mr. B, you know,
Mr. B, you go. So work ethic, Pep, I gave example, Pep and Klopp, Leeds, Burnley, they all have work ethic. You know, but is that the only deciding factor? Is Quinton Fortune getting on?
No, I don't. I still believe it's humility, OMONDI. I think you have to be able to trust the person above you, even if you don't see the vision that they have. I still put a lot of it down to selfishness. I know it's the same thing that I've gone round the corner, gone round the alleyway, but I still come back to exactly the same thing. I think it's a mentality. I think it's a younger generation mentality. I don't know if that's the same thing that comes. I've gone round, I've had a couple of conversations already with a couple of my friends, obviously off stream, and it seems to come back to the same thing. If a player, or if you want to bend and you want to listen, a lot of these players are hard ears. They've heard it all before. You know, that you can't tell them nothing because they've got their big the internal pride that a lot of these players have. I'm not sure is what is needed at Manchester United. I don't know how Fergie used to sit down and stuff. Now you don't have time for that, because if you don't jump in and sign that player because you're looking at what he can do or somebody else is going to jump in, and then you've lost him again, and then we end up with the second and third rate players that we don't want. You know, there has to be a way where we can get into their heads early and decide, you know, if this is the kind of player that we want for the club, or that's the kind of player we want for the club. We know what we want. So, sorry.
No,
sorry, brother.
Yeah, so I want to go to the comments, guys. So, Paddy, if you just wind up now, I'm just asking about the work ethic. You've already touched on that, so maybe not. What do you think Pep and Klopp have work ethic? What other factors do you need to be a successful side? Is it just work ethic and the old traditional values that you're talking about?
These two managers' philosophies are incorporated. That these drip down to the players. That's what I've seen this year. I might be wrong. I'm not wrong anyway on this. But I think this philosophy, I've seen Pep the way he's like an orchestra on the pitch. He's gliding them. I've watched it at Old Trafford and the Man City with the old games before. And then I watched Klopp, the way he comes out. And those players are closely linked to these managers and their philosophies and the football this year. And that all comes to discipline work. And I've just watched it. So it comes out. I think Ten Hag, when he comes in, if these players link everything to the Ten Hag and his philosophy and his work rate, it's going to be fantastic, lads. It really is. It's going to be really good. I hope to God, swashbuckling football is what this manager has, and the way his system is. Oh, come on, it's going to be good if they can link that mentality to him and his way of playing football, like we've got with Klopp and Guardiola. I think that will be the way forward.
You know,
you're not sorry. Just do you think it's fear, OMONDI? Do you think that players need a level of fear?
Of course, you need discipline. Everyone needs discipline to do your job. Totally agree with you. You're a father. You know what it's like. You know, if you want your children to fear you. And I fear God, you know, and so when I'm thinking about doing something wrong, that's the fear that in me saying, no, I can't do that, you know. You know what I'm saying? You have to have fear in life of something. It's not a bad thing. These days they talk about banning smacking and what kind of thing, but it has to be discipline. Otherwise, things are just going to go all over the place. You know, you have to have laws and rules, and not to tie people down, but to help people to grow and to have that respect. You know. What about respect your elders? What about, you know, these values like that? That's really important. And I think that can never change. And no matter what modern society we're living in now. But let me go into the comments, because there's a lot of very good comments. I want you guys to listen keenly, because there's a lot of knowledge in these comments here. I just want to say quickly hi to Box. Box is saying Ten Hag's a massive task. It's like 9 years of bad work he has to fix. Very good point. Box is also saying we pay average decent players who don't win trophies or even get top four, world-class wages, some of the biggest wages in the world. Salah has been at Liverpool for 5 years. It's from Box as well. He said he's got his head down, and only now is he debating his contract. He's currently paid less than about 10 of our squad. Can you believe that? Cosman saying, Ollie, let them have life too easy. Very good point.
Yeah.
See, these points are brilliant, aren't they? Well done, guys, in the comments. Make sure you press the like button. Box is also saying Solskjaer's nice approach has backfired in the long run. He has babied players, made a lot of false promises. TalkMU in the house. How you doing? He says he has been free. He has been to free, and that has cost both him and the team. Pat is saying the team needs guidance, discipline, and one voice in charge of the pitch. Old school respect. I like that.
Yeah.
Bill Badger in the house. How you doing, Bill Badger? He says, I know it was Brentford. We talked about, remember we talked about Bruno. He said, I know it was Brentford, but I like Bruno floating in from the left. Matthew Bassett saying Bruno was frustrated at the dross he was playing alongside. Boxer saying Bruno is a Portuguese man, so I get the emotion, but he's still over emotional at times. It hampers his game, his ability, technique, and on the ball. I want to say hi all the way from Ghana. Yes, we are. Yazuha Mohammed, how you doing, man? Hope life is good with you and enjoying the show. He said Rashford has to go at the right time. We're going to move on to that because arrogancy is what's killing English talent. Wow, that's a good point. Cosmo saying Box. You could say any better. Solskjaer did pamper them boys, and this season Ronaldo arrived, and it all went to shit. I'm going to say shit. Sorry, I don't like to say that word. I couldn't avoid it. I couldn't say it all went to poo-poo because they all put their ego first instead of working as a team. Are you guys nodding in agreement with all these comments here? Vincent, how you doing, Vincent? Vincent saying, yeah, I agree. Fergie did have some values in them, and values have gone out the window, like players stopping to give autographs. They don't do that these days. Matt was doing that the other day till late, wasn't he? Well done. Box is saying we need more Dad's Army lads in the team. You like that one, Paddy? Damn nice shirt, Paddy, they're saying. A few
Whoa.
comments about your shirt. Can you just give us a quick show?
Yeah, that's
And if anyone wants a shirt like this, wow, look at that.
Paddy,
Look at that.
the MFC, that's it. Admiral, for my old style, where has it gone? The Admiral?
Wrong
Quinton
side.
saying, yeah, we're allowed to speak his mind now because he doesn't focus on payroll still. Do know your stuff. MUTV. Andy Herbert, cheeky. He's asking us, where's our t-shirts? Man United Agenda t-shirts. Box say we need to bring back the spirit of 1999 when Mr. B turns up late, 10 minutes late, in time, and still arrives in the show. All the effort he made to get on the show. That's the kind of spirit we need. Yes. Sargon saying the new era footballers with wireless headphones on probably would have disturbed Fergie. Yeah, probably. He would have asked him for the horse racing results, Fox is saying ban all the players to have mobile phones. Don't know about that. That'd be a tough one. Can kids allowed to bring mobile phones into school?
No, my daughter can't.
No.
She's got to.
Okay.
She's got no.
Matthew Bassett saying we've stagnated and regressed as a club. Big up Eddie. Eddie's in the house. We're going to hear some good comments soon. Sue82, how you doing? Says mentally is rotten with us and small-time City. Liverpool players got social care, more about winning. We've got 18 likes at the moment, guys. Can we pump it up? Let's try and get 30 before the show ends. These comments are flying through. Box saying we haven't won a title since the club made an official Twitter. Okay, is that a link? Eddie's saying Fergie needed a hairdryer treatment and maybe some flying treatment. Maybe Hag has his own treatment coming. I've heard he's very tough as well. Sue saying I'm a 90s kid, lucky with Fergie years. Look at Pep Klopp. They kept players in check. Club lets them the club lets them keep people in check. That's the modern day. Too many playboys at the club. God, like Spice Boys.
White suits.
Eddie saying Hag is going to have to do his own kind of hairdryer treatment. Pat is saying our previous players we were signed as a package attitude, respect, integrity, and intelligence. The three I's. Oh no, almost the RRI. And just a couple more here. Sue saying younger generation, yeah, but the City Liverpool players do fine because their clubs want to win. Managers don't take CRAP. Clubs back them and good show. There's so many comments coming through. I have to go through them later. But thank you guys. Make sure there's 15 in the chat. Make sure you press the like button. Phone a friend. Tell them to come in and press the like button too. So we get to 30. That's our challenge today. Let's see if we got that desire in old school fashion. Let's see if you respond to discipline. Mr. B, tell them to hit the like button. So guys, that's all about Quinton Fortune. I think we've had a good discussion on that. The next topic we're going to discuss is Romano. Now, Romano is a serious source. We respect him. He's very credible. So he's come out today and he's talked about Rashford, our boy Rashford. And it sort of ties on to what we were saying here about old Rashford values as well. So Rashford will seek assurances from Eric over his role. He wants guarantees of regular playing time. PSG shown an interest in recent times. Quote from Romano, Rashford has been considering his future since February, along with his agent. In your ear. The player has not made a final decision and is waiting for direct dialogue with Eric before he can understand the next step. Rashford's priority is to remain at Man United. Remember that. Only if he can have guarantees of game time. Marcus wants to be important for the club and hopes for the World Cup. So obviously World Cup at the end of this year. So he wants to be an important role in the club. Ten Hag will decide together with the player. So far, we have no negotiations with any other clubs. This is so far there have been no negotiations with any other clubs, but an interest from PSG last year when there was talk about Mbappe leaving last summer, and he was on a list of potential replacements for Mbappe. That's how highly rated he was, or is. I don't know if it is or was. We're going to get onto that. The key factor is Poch. It was Poch who recommended him because Poch has played in the Premiership or managing the Premiership. So he got a good knowledge of Rashford. So he felt Rashford should be on the shortlist for Paris Saint-Germain. And but now there's no guarantee that Poch is going to stay at PSG. So Rashford is under contract until 2023, and there's an option of an extension clause in 2024. So the first thing I want to ask you guys, we've spoken a lot. Remember the values we were talking about earlier in the first segment? So we're talking to her now, Mr. B, homegrown talent, Rashford. Why is he considering his future? What's gone wrong? I know it's a general question, but I have more specific questions in a mo. But why is he considering PSV? Why has his head been turned? What's gone wrong with Rashford?
The long and short of it, I'm going to keep my thing really brief. I love Rashford, but he's been shit. All of his life, I believe, he's been given the pat on the back shoulder. Don't worry, it will be all right. It will be all right. Now, the shit hits the fan, and he has to show his mettle. And I'm not sure. I love Rashford to bits. I've got a video of him on my home screen on my phone, so I'm not out here to be disrespecting or cussing Rashford, but I just feel it's a generational thing. He's so used to having everything given to him. As soon as you tell him no, he's throwing his toys out the pram. His form, his own form, dictated that he wasn't playing, that he didn't start. It's nobody else's fault. He can blame, the moon and the stars crisscrossing at 7 o'clock at night and not aligning with his chakras or whatever he wants to do. But the excuses that these would only be excuses. You have to show the desire. You have to show the desire. I'm not sure he still has that desire. That's the part that I'm worried about Rashford OMONDI. I'm not sure he still has that inner desire. It's easy for him to walk away. It's not easy for him to walk away from Manchester United because I'm not sure he can speak Spanish, French, or Italian. So that probably moves a big move out of the way. He's not going to come to the Premiership. He's not going to stay in the Premiership. Man United can't sell him to another Premiership team because then that would kill me. But then I'm hearing today that a price has been set. A minimum price has been set. That's the worrying part for me. The fact that a price has been set, that means somebody's been talking. Minimum price, so that I know what it is and I've been given the figure. But that would burn me. So I hope he takes his finger out of his arse. This summer period here, he wants to play in the World Cup. I understand that. And I understand the sacrifices that he made during the Oli reign in regards to playing through this illness, playing through that. He shouldn't have gone to the Euros. He should have stayed at home and got fit. I understand why he did it. He wants to have kudos with the manager. Oh, look, manager, I'm unfit. I'm still trying. I'm still here. But all it's done is sent him further back because now he can't play for us. He can't get in the team for Manchester United. And the only players who are getting picked for England who play shit are Maguire. So there's an issue for him and there's an issue for us that I'm not sure that that's going to be sorted out anytime soon. Yeah.
So homegrown talent, Paddy. Why is he considering his future? What's gone wrong, basically?
Well, yeah, he's a homegrown player. And do you know when I remember I went to the game when he turned up and he scored those goals under Louis van Gaal. I thought, God, what a player coming in. He came in because of injuries, didn't he, at the time? But since then, it hasn't really. I don't know what it is. I mean, Roy Keane talked the other day about he's lost his eye of the tiger. Yeah, he's lost the eye. He's lost that. He's lost that glint, that like you say, that desire. He's lost it. I don't know why. Now he's a homegrown. I don't want to lose my homegrown players. I'm really. You just don't want to. But I'm just wondering, has he peaked? Has he peaked? Now, going back to Nicolas Anelka for Arsenal, got upset, and then left and went to Real Madrid. Never seen since. Lost, gone, lost in the wilderness. And I worry for Marcus. Does he go to PSG with all that riches and whatever? And Pochettino's, I can play you in this team, and I can do. It may not happen. The grass may not be greener on the other side. But seeking assurances, how dare you seek assurances from Ten Hag coming in? How dare you? How dare you? You are a Manchester United player in a big club. You've got to show your mettle, mate, and you've got to show that you are going to be one of the greats that will be in that museum in that club with your shirt on, or you'll just be a forgotten man and be gone. You'll be yesterday's man. He was great, but he didn't do it, did he? No, I don't want them to say about me at Man United. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I agree. So, the second question for you guys and people in the comments as well: I mean, it's like he's having his head turned, and maybe an agent in his ear, because he says it here. Romano's confirmed that he's been in talks since February and considering his future. So, do you think, like, when he's been last year, he was valued as one of the highest rated, highest valued players on these, these data things they accumulate and put together. He was one of the highest rated young players out there at 23, 24 years old. And that can get to you. You can make you think, oh God, I'm the man. And then to think you're the guy to step into Mbappe's boots if he was going to go to Real Madrid, that would unsettle you, I suppose, as well. His form's dropped, that's for sure. So do you think his head's been turned and his value has dropped? So how much potential now does he actually have? Can, because you're saying about the player that we thought he could be, he never peaked for me. I thought there was still more in there. But do you think now he's finished as a player? Do you think he can reach new heights if he goes abroad, or if he decides to stay under new management, under new coach? Because people say he hasn't been coached correctly at Manchester United. So what do you think about his ceiling? Do you think there's more to offer for Rashford, and would we be a fool to sell him or get rid of him? I'll start with you, Paddy.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm going to give the guy a little bit, meaning, Ten Hag puts his arm around him, turns him round, and there might be a little bit left in the engine, for him to come round and grab his form back again. Because, I've seen him at some of the games at Old Trafford, and I thought his form and his confidence has dropped. Is it outside influences? Has he done a great work outside the club? Has he had his head turned by these? I hope not, because if he's talking to other manager and thinking about going elsewhere, do you know what, mate? Bye, mate. If you think you're bigger than the club and I can do better elsewhere, I'm sorry, no go. But I think this maybe Ten Hag can turn him around. Maybe this time next season, Rashford's up there and he's scoring goals, got his form back. I don't want to give up on him. I don't know what it is. I don't want to give up on him. I don't. He's one of our own.
Mr. B. Oh, sorry. So go on, Paddy.
There's only so much time left, though, and football fans are fickle. You're only as good as your last game. You know what I mean? That is it.
That's true.
All right.
Mr. B, what do you think about that? And do you think there's more left in Rashford? We want to discover. I'm looking for answers from you guys. Why has he lost his form? What's going on? Is that it for him? Is there more there? Is it a mental thing? I mean, what's going on with Rashford for you? Do you think there's more a player in there still?
Yeah, the ability that he had when he burst onto the scene on Monday, I don't think you lose that. Yeah. It wasn't all about pace with Rashford. He was finishing. He was gliding past players. Now you look at him. Every time there's a player in front of him, he runs into him. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know. It can't be. It has to be confidence. You look at it and you look at his body language on the pitch. On Monday, I pray that Rashford isn't done. I would hate to think that that patch that we had was his golden time and he's not going to get any better. It could be Hollywood. I want Rashford to come back next season and just destroy everything in front of him. Be that hungry, fearless son of a bitch that came when he first burst into the shirt. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say yes. There's more to come from Rashford, and it's definitely not over for him at Old Trafford.
And finally, one for you, Mr. B. Do you think he hasn't been coached correctly? You were saying about running.
I do.
That's
I do. For a man, all he has to do is stop. On Monday, all he has to do is everything he does is 177 miles an hour. Just stop. You just run into position and stop, or walk. Everything he does has to be running. When he's passing, he's looking for he's passed and he's looking for the 1-2. His head's not on the pass. His head is on the run. Concentrate on what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Everything will just everything will come back. Listen, I got big hopes for Rashford.
I think he's just trying to. When I watched him the last few games of weather, he was trying too hard. It was just, and I've known when I played football, and when you lose your confidence, you don't let yourself flow freely. You try and do everything. You try too hard and it just doesn't work, and you need to get that confidence back, don't you? To flow.
Guys, we've all just studied Eric Ten Hag. We've all looked at him. Do you think Rashford? I mean, Eric can work with Rashford as a player. Just before, forget the mental thing, forget the thing. Do you think Eric will look at it and say, oh, "I can work with this guy. He can fit into my system. He's got the right attributes." In a word,
What? Yes. And I'm going to say, and the other word is Hala. Yes, and Hala. That's all you have to think about.
Okay. I want to go to the comments quickly. We've got 14 in the comments. Please, can give us a shout. Are we close to 30 yet? 30 likes? That's my target. I want to feel satisfied with 30, guys. Keep pumping that like button if you're jumping in on the show. But we got some great comments about Rashford, man. There's a lot of people have good, they get fired up. They start typing when you hear this name, Rashford and Pogba. I think they're really passionate about this. Rashford, this from Sue, Sue82. She says Rashford needs to be guaranteed playing time to stay. Listen, mate, fix up on the pitch. Simple. What? I ain't messing with you, Sue. You talk like that. Sue saying, fear these players get more money, contract extensions. We spend fortune, nothing to show for it. Woo! I love that, Sue. Matthew Bassett saying Rashford needs to be told to earn his playing time. Very good point. Sue again saying only English player I would keep is Sancho. Rest can jog on, overpaid, pampered. Whoa, Sue's going off. And she's now saying thanks for a good show. But you make it a good show with great comments like that. Thank you. Boxer saying PSG are one of the clubs alongside Juve, Milan, who are talking to Lingard. I think Paddy's going to talk about Lingard later. Maybe PSG want the link Rashford and Lingard. Those two. Cheeky guys. I don't know what they're up to. Bill Baggio, yes, man. How you doing? Bill Baggio, we have respect for this guy. Always in the comments after the show. Guys, check it out. Whenever you see a show, go into the comments. You will find Bill Baggio there, dropping some gems. He's saying no one is guaranteed a place. Maybe he wants a chance, but Ten Hag can't guarantee him playing. That's all on Rashford to perform. Agreed. Sue saying Ollie didn't help Rashford, having lost faith in him. You're right, Mr. B. Okay, you're right, Mr. B. Last start chance saloon. See what happens with Ten Hag. Pat Lord is saying, I think the inverted winger role that Eric Ten Hag apparently plays might suit Rashford so that he can cut back in on the inside and show us that explosive Marcus that we all want to see. Box saying, yeah, there's no one should be guaranteed a place in the first team. Bill Badger saying, if this is Rashford's stance, he can F right off. Disappointed if this is true. Cosman's saying, do the panel think Rashford's rise to prominence and fame has changed his focus? Very good question. Think about that one, guys. Rashford, Sue saying, Rashford, less tweeting, more training, mate. Sue's coming. Oh, God. She's killing it today. Vincent saying, Rashford says he's got love for Man United. So why was he the other week pretending to be asleep in Jesse's car? You can't fall asleep by the time you leave Carrington and get 150 yards and fall asleep. I want to know more about this. This sounds funny. Oh, God. Sarragan saying, love the guy, but Rashford has been in the sulk after Ollie left. Who will pay him 200 grand a week? So many good comments here. Sue saying, Man United players, new name for team is the Pretenders. What they are, the Bar, Ronaldo, a few others. Okay. Box saying, it seems like some of the players at Man United aren't willing to fight for places. They don't want competition. Same as Martial. They should be relishing the battle. Sorry, excuse me. Sue saying Danny Welbeck better than Rashford. I do wonder he had more football IQ. Not a bad player, to be fair. We had loads of average players with Fergie who weren't great. Sue's killing it. Sue, I mean, commentator of the day so far. Who was the matcher? Come on, more great comments. Try and beat Sue. Box is saying Welbeck had bad luck with injuries, hampered him. Yeah, Sue saying Rashford, give Rashford next year, but seriously, won't be sad to see him go. He'd be better off somewhere else. And Sarragan saying, ironically, Ole ruined Rashford, running him into the ground when he's injured. I know Mr. B was saying a lot about that. Rashi's brother has big influence on him, says Cosman. I don't know what they're going to do with him. We have a very good player in there. There's so many comments. I'm just going to go back the last one to Emma here. For me, every player next season has to improve and show their worth. And sorry, before I go, bath time's in the house. He's saying, someone asked you earlier, bath time, in the comments. They were saying, where's bath time today? But you've arrived. He's saying, how are we feeling about Pogba as a right back, lads? If anyone doesn't know, go and check out Bath Time with Vaughan on YouTube. He's done a
Bless him.
piece, on why Pogba should be playing right back. And just a couple more here. Marcus is one of our own. I don't believe he will leave when he can see the changes happening. The lad needs to focus, and a manager that will coach the team properly. So there you go. That's a good shout. Anyone else in the house that I see new? Otherwise, Ollie's in the house. How you doing, Ollie? Coming down. I'm going to drop Emma last. The fact that Ten Hag demands his team to play as a team, that's probably something that translates to the dressing room, and they can help each other out on all fronts. Everyone say hi to Jay, Billy, Josh. Rashi has lost all self-belief in himself, he's saying. And we'll stop there. Any last words before, so we established Eric could possibly work with him. The reason for loss of form, we've touched on that. I don't know if you want to again. Do you remember the question that was asked for you in the panel just a minute ago? Do you want me to find it?
No, one about his outside interest as it has that. That's come up this year already. Roy, a lot of people
Can you just touch on that then, Paddy?
Yeah, excuse me. I mean, a lot of people have commented that he did school meals, school dinners, and everything else, and he did some fantastic work, by the way, brilliant work he did. But I'm wondering, I don't think it shouldn't really affect his footballing life at all. I hope it didn't. I don't think it would have done. I think that was just an excuse. I don't know what's gone on. I don't know what I can't put my finger on it. With Ole, I think Ole's lack of discipline, I'm sorry, didn't help the players, and with Marcus. But you're right. Since then, he hasn't really captured that consistent, brilliant form he had. So I don't think it affected him. I think that's a lame excuse, actually. Sorry, no.
They're saying here, carry on, Sue 82. You said nothing wrong so far. Everyone in the comments is saying she's probably deserves an award for today. She's been brilliant. Mr. B, can you match her with any comments here about?
No, she's been fine. When people talk sense, sometimes you just have to sit back and say, okay, Suze, I've seen your comments, and I'm not going to disagree with you today. You have been.
Shall we give a big Sue?
Sue!
You win the award. I feel like, do you know when I watched Zulu, the film on Monday? You remember when the Zulus you came over there in Rorke's Driftwood? Zoo!
That could be the root of the Sue. Who knows? Who knows where that comes from? We need to build a Sue statue, a Sue 82 statue at Old Trafford. Yes. And for the agenda crew, the gender family land will only know about that. And Sue finally saying, I was proud of what Rashford did. He was scoring when he did school meal stuff. I think Ollie, too soft. Phil, after his injury, lost the yard of pace. Okay, as well. Okay. We've discussed a lot. There's 18 in the chat. We're coming up to the hour mark. We've got a few minutes left. Just want to say thank you, everyone. Just Mr. B from Vincent saying, Mr. B, could you borrow Omondi's your earphones and find him dancing to some reggae? It still looks like he needs to practice. Maybe you need to get him down Carrington and train Rashford. Okay. You maybe see my video on my night out.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I
was a little bit drunk, I'm feeling the vibes, That's what it's all about. But I hope you're feeling the vibes in the Man United agenda today, because we are vibing. Coming on, we're going to move on to any other business now. Just becoming a main theme of our shows now, where we can just go in and just talk about anything. I'm just going to start it off because I know Paddy's got a few things to say.
Yeah.
Any other business? These are the topics. Ronaldo discusses future with Eric. So they were talking about Ronaldo. He also has to have a meeting with Eric and discuss his future. I think he's a fan's favourite. He's really impressed me this year. There was a doubt halfway through the season, but he stepped up. Man United to accept contract renewal for Bailey was a mistake. And before we end the show, I'm going to go and the bookies odds about the players, because the bookies are never wrong, are they? About the players they feel is going to come in. So, Patrick, you wanted to speak about Jones and Bailey, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this again, Woodward again apparently gave Phil, and do you know, Bath Tom, maybe listen to this. I'm not a big fan of Phil Jones. Never was, never will, never, ever in my world be a fan of Phil Jones at all until I live and die. Okay, he was dreadful as a defender, dreadful. Bailly wasn't too far off. They were just not Man United standard centre backs. And Woodward gave these buffoons contracts. And I think it's down to, I understand, giving these peripheral players on longer deals, so it could basically, you know, get great resale value for them. I wouldn't give £5 to each of them. I say any of them, they're not worth it. So apparently, it was an error in judgment by Woodward, along with many of them. This is a chairman who's gone now, thank goodness, and is replaced by another one who's clueless as well. But do you know what? They weren't footballing people. It wasn't David Gill, was it? So, yeah, at least they admit their mistakes now. But, yeah, I mean, he only played, Bailly only played 5 times this season. Jones, I know, has come back from injury, and I'm not going to be with him. So I know Bath Time loves him to death. But I'm sorry, it was a big error in judgment. And do you know what? I hope we don't make any more errors of judgment in that. Let's just hope it's a mistake that's in the past now.
Mr. B said we've got a few news. Ronaldo to discuss his future with Eric, and also about the mistake made by renewing Bailey's contract. Do you have anything to add to that?
We said at the time, OMONDI, I'm sure but maybe it wasn't me and you, but we guessed it was for value protection. But as Paddy said, how much are you going to pay for Bailly? A player who doesn't play, a player who's always unfit. We've increased his wages. We didn't just extend his contract. We gave him more money to cock up his ass on the bench.
Okay. Is it gone 9 o'clock? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Go.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. I believe that. Oh God, I'm just thinking about Solo telling me off. I forgot the question. It's gone. My answer's gone. It's completely gone.
It's there. You were saying about the contract renewal. We had a show about.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
More wages.
It seemed strange at the time, but again, the club seemed to have this. It seemed to be common knowledge that they want to try and protect the values of the players. But if your player's not worth any money at the time, why are you going to pay him any more? You know, and then not play him. If you re-sign him and play him, fine. But when you've re-signed him and they're still not getting any game time, it doesn't make any sense. And as Paddy said, he wouldn't pay any money for either of them. How much of either of them going to be sold for? Jones is on just under 175. Sorry, he's on 75 grand a week.
Mad.
And he doesn't play. And then Bailly must be on 100 plus a week. Who is going to take his wages? But we're going to lose these players. So he's probably going to end up being stuck with us until their contract runs out again. And then we'll let them walk on a free.
Please no.
Yeah. Good shout. Guys, we're going to wind up now. I've got 2 minutes left. The bookies are never wrong. And now this goes out to Solo. If you want some good tips, I'm going to give you some tips now about what to do, because you like to hear little Q&As, don't you? And making a little money on the side. So this goes out to all you guys who like to speculate about transfers and what kind of thing. This is from Betfair, and they put out a list today of the odds for the players coming into Manchester United. And I'm going to put them in order. So 6-4 is Anthony. He's first for his favourite. We know Anthony, Ajax, sorry. 2-1, Timber. 3-1 is Rice, Declan Rice. That's a big money signing. Another 3-1 is De Jong. 4-1 is Harry Kane. I didn't expect that. Low odds. Nunes is 5-1. 6-1 Aarons. 7-1 Dybala, who I know Mr. B was saying he's going to Inter. 8-1 Basuma. 8-1 Neves. 8-1 Haller. You know Haller, the striker from Ajax, who's played for West Ham. 8-1 Pau Torres, the centre back from Villarreal, left-footed guy. 8-1 Bowen from West Ham, left-footed inside forward. 8-1 Tuchemende from Monaco, very talented looking guy. I don't know if you guys saw Canavinga the other day. We were linked with him, but he played really well for Real Madrid.
Quick.
Got a lot of drive as well. 19 years old. Fantastic. 8-1 Calvin Phillips. I'm speaking like Solo. Calvin Phillips, not Kevin. 8-1 Bellingham. 10-1 Savic from Lazio. and 50-1 Haaland. So those are the odds at the moment. So obviously Anthony's favourite. You've got Timber, Dion, Kane, Rice, and Nunes really in the top 5. Any thoughts on that before we close up?
Yeah, it's just that Nunes, I can't see how Nunes is as longer odds than Harry Kane. To be honest, I can't see how he's
5-1, 6-1.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I just put the bets down and accumulators. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what the figures mean. I just look for a figure at the end that I never get. So, yeah. It's the list. You look on that list, and those are the players who we talk about and think, oh, they're going to improve the team.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much of them. I want to see how much of them they're actually going to get. I think that the Kane one's out of the question, but the rest of them, up until Nunes, I think could be gettable.
Do you want to add to that, Paddy?
You look down that list. It's a go-to list of fantastic players. Whether we get any of them is could be Cloud Cuckoo Land. To be fair, it could be. We just don't know. You know what I mean? But you know, we'll see if they fit into Ten Hag's system. We just don't know. And again, it's all, you know, this is going to be transfer speculation all the way up to whatever. But it's got, by the way, it's going to be happening quickly to get what Ten Hag wants, and if he wants to get some of these players. But I saw Haaland there, Dortmund. He's not coming to Man United. No way. I'd be very, very surprised.
50-1. 50-1 it is.
Yeah, I don't think, that's Cloud Cuckoo Land definitely coming to Man United. No way. No way.
And just to finish up, I mean, it's a good show. The comments have really made it for me. Bill Badger is saying at Pat. So this is Pat in the comments, I believe. Said he was good for Samp, but he hasn't really shone for me in the Prem yet. So he's talking about. He's asked a question here, Pat. He's asked, gents, talking to the panel, what do you think about Joachim Anderson from Palace, centre back? He's done really well this season. Any thoughts on him?
He's thrown me. I'd have to have a look.
Yeah, man.
To be honest,
okay.
Yeah,
that's our home right there. I think he's a good player, very solid player. He's really secured Palace, and it's a good signing because I think with Palace, with Vieira coming in, he's won them to bring the ball out from the back, and they've really developed their game like that. They haven't played like that for a long time. So bringing in Joachim Anderson, he's a player who has that in his locker, and he's able to achieve that. And I think he's really helped the guys, the Mitchell and the other centre back, English centre back, to get caps. Their performances this year has all been down, I believe, to Joachim Anderson coming in. He's a key figure in that team and to the way they play. So I think he's a very good player.
Signing? Did they sign him or is he on loan?
I think they signed him. Here we go. Yeah, so Anderson, and I can't pronounce this partner's name. He played for England the other day.
Gui.
Yeah, they've been a good duo, that's for sure. And it's just about communication, isn't it? Something we're struggling with our centre back partnerships.
Yeah.
And he's also Danish as well.
Is that Emma? I would like to ask then. Is that a recommendation that we should be going in? We should be going in for him.
Maybe. I just want to finally say hi to Bart. How you doing, Bart? Welcome back to the channel. Bart's talking about the finances. He's giving us good advice here. So it matters on 168k a week. Question mark, or around that price. The only way to solve Man United's problem is to sell all the overpaid players. Sell Varane, Sancho, Langa, Ronaldo, then pay off the debt and rebuild. Okay, there you go. So we're going to end on that. Thank you, everyone in the comments. I really do appreciate you taking the time to tune in. I hope, like we said, it's all about discipline and old school values. So I hope we got to our 30 likes. I don't know. Did we get 30 likes, guys? Can someone give us a clue in the comments? Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy out here. I demand we get 30 likes in this show. It deserves it. It deserves it. Don't you think, boys?
Absolutely. 50 likes, 100 likes deserve Monday.
Let's go. I'm not getting any feedback yet, so we're going to have to end the show. But hopefully we've got 30 likes. Really do appreciate you guys, especially you, Paddy and Mr. B. Thank you so much for your contributions today.
No worries.
Any last words before I sign out?
Yeah, sorry for my timekeeping, but again, it wasn't. I would have been late, yes, but technology made me later, so apologies.
Brilliant.
And Paddy,
I love the show. Thank you, because it's been a golden oldie show for me. Thank you very much, Monday.
I'm sorry for the jibs. This is what we get in change rooms. There's always someone jibbing someone else, and today I wanted to jib on you. So yeah, you got it good. Anyway, guys, we're signing out, and as you know, we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30. And Mr. B, do you want to just mention something about 10 o'clock? Something happening at 10 o'clock tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we've got the takeaway tomorrow, 10 o'clock. You know, beyond there we've talked. We'll have a little either spot the ball or what was the other one that we had? The face, guess the face. And we'll have one or two topics that hopefully will get your juices flowing for the Friday night.
And guys, you will be seeing us in merchandise from Man United Agenda. We will be wearing it very soon. Paddy's beat us to it with this wonderful t-shirt saying the agenda, and he's representing. And I hope you guys all purchase some t-shirts too, so we can all represent and go out. Remember the film The Wanderers? We can all go out with our little hoodies and you know.
The Wanderers.
I'll whistle up to your house, and you can all come down and follow us.
Sorry, on Monday, you keep saying that I'm older than you. Yeah, I am really beginning to wonder what the Wanderers. What is that?
I've got that film. I've got it. It's my favourite film, by the way, Mr. B. I've got it. I've got it downloaded, bro.
Leave the kid alone.
Yeah,
leave the kid
alone.
What?
Leave the kid alone.
You need to.
Yeah, I do.
You may be older than me, but there's a thing called dementia that kicks in. So I haven't got the solution, but that could be the answer right there. On that note, we're signing out. And if you want to be one of the Wanderers, the Man United Agenda Wanderers, make sure you buy the merchandise. And then Paddy will come around whistling outside your house. And you can go,